They say your wedding day should be the happiest day of your life. That morning, I believed it. I stood in front of the mirror, fixing the navy blue tie Daisy had picked out herself. The suit fit perfectly, custom tailored, just like she wanted. I remember smiling at my reflection, thinking, this is it. This is what peace feels like. Daisy and I met 5 years ago at a friend's 4th of July party. She laughed at one of my terrible jokes when no one else did. That laugh stayed with me. Smart, driven, warm. She made everything feel easier. We moved in together 2 years later. I proposed during a quiet dinner at home, just us and a bottle of wine. She cried, said yes before I even finished asking. Marcus, my best friend since college, was my best man. He helped plan the whole thing, picked the venue, handled the playlist, kept me sane. We'd been through everything together, breakups, job losses, hangovers. I trusted him like a brother. The chapel was packed, strings playing softly. Her family was seated in the front. ROW.my mother dabbed her eyes, but Daisy was late. 5 minutes, then 10. I looked to Marcus. He smiled, steady as always, but something in the air had changed. The doors never opened. 20 minutes past the hour, the whispers had turned into quiet tension. People checked their phones, shifted in their seats. Then Marcus walked up to me, slow and deliberate. He didn't have the usual calm in his eyes. Just something else. Guilt, maybe your regret. He leaned in. James, he said quietly, she's not coming. My mouth went dry. What? He exhaled, Daisy's not coming. She's with me. We've been together for a while now. The words hit harder than I expected, but not in the way people might think. I didn't collapse. I didn't shout. I just stood there, still. A murmur rippled through the chapel. My mother gasped. Daisy's father stood up, stunned. I looked at Marcus and my best man, my closest friend, and nodded. Then I turned to the crowd. Thank you all for coming, I said, voice steady. Enjoy the evening. There's food and music, and an open bar. No need to waste the celebration. And with that, I walked out of the chapel, not broken, not yet, just quiet, but inside, something colder than betrayal had taken root. I drove straight past our apartment, straight past the city line, checked into a hotel under a name I hadn't used in years, left my phone on the dresser, face down, notifications flooding in until the screen went black. Alone at last, I sat by the window, watching headlights pass like ghosts. I kept thinking about Daisy's hand in mine the night we signed the contract, about Marcus popping the champagne. Our tech startup, the one we built from scratch, just weeks away from final acquisition. I was the architect, the strategist. Marcus, he smiled for the cameras, schmoozed investors. A partnership on paper, but the core code was mine, and now it all made sense. The timing, the secrecy, the smiles that lingered too long when they thought I wasn't looking. This wasn't just a betrayal of love. It was an ambush. They didn't just want to hurt me, they wanted to erase me. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't drink. I opened my laptop and pulled up the original shareholder agreement. They wanted to play a game. Fine. Let's play. Monday morning, I walked into my attorney's office with a flash drive and no small talk. Everything you need is on here, I said, sliding it across the polished oak desk. Original source code, timestamps, revision logs. I built the platform alone. Marcus joined after version 3. He's the face, not the architect. My lawyer Nora reviewed it silently, her expression sharpened with each click. You have more than enough to prove primary authorship, she said at last. If they try to cut you out of the sale, we bury them. I nodded. Then let's get ahead of it. Back at the hotel, I kept quiet. Calls poured in. Daisy, Marcus, even his sister. Apologies, explanations, half-baked excuses. I didn't answer a single one. I let their words die in voicemail limbo. Instead, I built a digital vault, screenshots of their messages, emails with overlapping dates, calendar entries proving they lied about meetings and trips. Even an old chat where Daisy joked about testing the upgrade. Every move they made was fuel. I wasn't angry. I was patient, cold, and when the time came to make a move, they wouldn't even see it coming. The morning of the acquisition, I arrived 2 hours early. A quiet conference room, coffee untouched. I set up my laptop and handed the investors a folder, copies of design drafts, patent filings, prototype blueprints, all dated, all signed by me. They reviewed in silence, brows furrowing. This, I said, is what your offer is based on, what you're buying. One of the execs, a sharp woman from Boston, nodded. We assumed both co-founders were involved from the start. I shook my head. He came in after the foundation was already laid. Marketing and optics, yes, but the product, that's mine. 10 minutes before the meeting, Marcus strolled in, all charm and arrogance. Hope nobody started without me, he joked, clapping my shoulder. I didn't move. Your seat's taken. Confused, he looked around, then spotted the new chair by the wall, not the table. When the legal team arrived, I handed them the same packet. Confirmation came quickly. Ownership was clear. Based on documentation and IP law, Marcus's share would be reduced to reflect only his non-technical contributions. He went pale. I didn't smile. I just said, you wanted your name on it, now you'll see what it's worth. The deal closed. My name alone on the final contract. My bank account reflected the value of my work and the cost of betrayal. Marcus unraveled first. The emails came hourly at first, rage, threats, accusations. You stabbed me in the back. One read, I built this with you. Another, you think this makes you better? I never replied. My lawyer did. Once all future communication should be directed through counsel. Then came Daisy tears of voicemails. I didn't plan for this to happen. He meant nothing. I made a mistake. I listened to none of them. Instead, I gathered screenshots, calendar overlaps, voice messages where she mocked my routines, group chats with friends who knew and stayed silent when old mutuals reached out, some furious, some confused. I didn't argue. I just forwarded the files that her sister called me cold. I replied with a screenshot of Daisy saying, "He's too stable, like training wheels." No words, just facts, and silence, because sometimes the loudest answer is no answer at all. It's been 11 months, the ocean's about 100 yards from my porch, I can hear it now, steady, honest. No whispers. No lies, just waves. After the dust settled, I left the city, bought a quiet place on the coast, started consulting for startups that reminded me of the version of myself I used to be, hopeful, a little naive, still believing in people. I'm not bitter, the money gave me freedom, yes, but what really set me free was the silence, the space to think without anger. To breathe without expectation. I even started seeing someone recently. No pressure. No pretense, just something real. Sometimes I still think about that day, the suit, the chapel. Marcus' face when he realized the spotlight was gone. Daisy's messages stopped months ago. I don't block them anymore, I just don't open them. I don't feel hate, I don't feel much of anything when I think of them, and that, after everything, is the real victory, not the money, not the exposure, just peace.